Imagine stumbling onto a ghost town older than Sumer or Babylon, its sun-baked walls half buried by Arabian sands, its stones humming with secrets no living soul should hear. In January 1921, H.P. Lovecraft penned The Nameless City, first appearing that November in the amateur journal The Wolverine. His nameless explorer, driven by rumors of a distant clanging echo from underground, uncovers low, narrow passages etched with reptilian reliefs and faded hieroglyphs, hinting at a pre-human civilization. When he pries open a colossal brass door, the city's true horror, a mist-shrouded chamber crawling with horned, alligator-jawed sentinels, shatters all reason. Welcome to Infinitia Verity, where we turn buried nightmares into animated truths. Ready to explore the city without a name? The Nameless City lies remote in the desert of Araby, its low walls nearly hidden by drifting sands. Written in January 1921 and first published in the November 1921 issue of the Wolverine, it was Lovecraft's first definitive Cthulhu Mythos tale. The unnamed narrator ventures into the Arabian Peninsula after hearing a distant clanging echo from deep beneath the earth. By daylight, he discovers a plateau of narrow, low-ceilinged stone buildings unfit for human habitation, suggesting pre-human design. Lovecraft drew on the 9th edition of the Encyclopaedia Britannica's entry on Irem, the City of Pillars, said to vanish from ordinary sight and reappear to favored travelers. Grotesque reptilian reliefs and cryptic hieroglyphs carved into temple walls hint at serpent-worshipping builders of unimaginable antiquity. Despite its initial rejection by mainstream outlets, it resurfaced in Weird Tales in 1938, cementing its mythic legacy. The story introduced Abdul al-Hazred, the mad Arab later credited with the Necronomicon. The Nameless City blends authentic desert lore with impossible architecture, forging a haunting plausibility that set the stage for Lovecraft's later cosmic horrors. As our intrepid scholar edges deeper beneath the desert sands, the atmosphere shifts from fascinating relic to this is officially a terrible idea in seconds. The air grows cold and stale. Narrow corridors force him to crawl on hands and knees, passing tiny wooden coffins, each harboring a mummified reptile with horned heads and alligator-like jaws. In the flicker of torchlight, he notices grotesque reliefs carved into the stone walls, serpent-faced beings worshipping alien gods, their twisted forms frozen in eternal ritual. Every echo hints at something alive, a faint moaning as if the very tombs exhale dread. Then comes the unmistakable clang of metal on stone, a sound reverberating through the labyrinth like a doom bell. Heart-pounding, he reaches a massive brass door, its surface etched with indecipherable glyphs that seem to writhe under his gaze. It's a textbook Lovecraft escalation. Curiosity gives way to dread, and what began as scholarly intrigue becomes a frantic scramble to escape. As Lovecraft himself warned, one's mind refuses to carry the burden of life's many shadows, and here in the Nameless City's twisting veins, those shadows move of their own accord. The brass door creaked open, not outward but upward, sliding noiselessly into the stone ceiling as if guided by invisible forces. The scholar stepped into a vast chamber that defied all logic, where angles refused to meet correctly, and perspective itself broke apart like shattered glass. The floor sloped upward while the ceiling seemed to plunge downward. Columns spiraled into infinity. It was architecture that mocked human understanding, a clear case of non-Euclidean geometry where the normal laws of space simply did not apply. Here the scholar encountered a crypt unlike any other, hundreds of stone slabs arranged in a strange spiral pattern, each engraved with symbols not of any known language but eerily similar to Mesopotamian cuneiform, except wrong. The walls pulsed faintly as though alive, humming with a frequency too low to hear but deep enough to feel in your bones, and then movement, not from behind, not above, but from the very walls. Eyes opened in the stone, not metaphorically. Actual slitted eyes like those of a reptile blinked and then closed again. The whole tomb seemed to be a being, not a building. In the center of the spiral lay a sarcophagus of black jade, glowing faintly. The lid was ajar, just enough to see a withered claw. The scholar's hand trembled, notebook falling to the floor. He didn't run, not out of bravery, but because gravity no longer worked properly. He was walking upwards, sideways, spinning, sinking, caught in a place where time, space, and sanity collapsed together. What followed is unclear. The manuscript recovered years later was barely coherent. One line, scribbled in crimson ink, stood out. "They are not dead, but dreaming beneath the sands as they do beneath the sea." A reference to Relaya, a parallel to Cthulhu, or had he stumbled upon another ancient prison, an earthbound counterpart to Lovecraft's sunken horrors? This was no ordinary tomb. It was a doorway, a memory, and a warning all at once. When news of the tomb reached the surface, it sparked an academic frenzy and panic. The site was quickly seized by a multinational research coalition, but no official findings were ever released. Satellite images of the area were scrubbed. Locals who had guided the scholar mysteriously disappeared. Some say the entire valley was flooded by accident, yet whispers survived. Online forums speculated wildly. Was this the terrestrial twin of Relaya, a second prison for the same eldritch beings? Or worse, a network of such places scattered across the earth? Conspiracy theorists, Lovecraftian scholars, and archaeologists clashed, each claiming fragments of truth. But one thing was clear. The architecture, the geometry, the impossible space within the tomb, all of it pointed to the same conclusion. This was not the work of any known civilization. It was a scar left by something ancient, inhuman, and perhaps eternal. So what do we make of this? A buried tomb, warped space, vanishing scholars, and geometry that breaks the laws of our universe. Whether you believe in Lovecraftian lore or not, this case forces us to confront the uncomfortable. There are still places on Earth that defy explanation. Was this the work of a forgotten civilization with knowledge beyond ours? A naturally occurring anomaly? Or evidence that Lovecraft's horror wasn't entirely fictional? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The world is far stranger than we've been led to believe, and sometimes it stares back from the darkness beneath. Stay curious, stay skeptical. But never assume we've discovered everything, because something might just be waiting to be rediscovered. If this mind-warping mystery kept you on the edge, hit that like button, subscribe to Infinitia Verity, and ring the bell so you never miss the next strange chapter of forgotten history. Drop your thoughts or cosmic warnings in the comments. We're always listening, even from beneath the waves.